Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Today's video is just going to be titled Bread and Butter, or a trade of trades. So you're just going to see normal run-of-the-mill stuff. So on the table I've got a few sovereigns. I don't particularly like making videos about sovereigns. I see a lot of sovereigns. The other day I bought in 2016 sovereigns. They went in 24 hours. That was an okay day. I had to pay a bit extra to get them in. I did okay out of it. So usually, just to give you guys an idea of how I do things as a professional trader, sovereigns I slap £10 on. I buy them for spot and I put £10 on them plus post. Now that tends to be the sweet spot for everyone involved. They tend to go pretty fast. It tends to be a pretty fair price for people as well. So people don't really begrudge paying £10 over a coin. I think it works out, what, spot plus 3%, give or take, might be slightly under. But for me, that's where I want to be at. Isn't always the case. Sometimes I'm going to make slightly more, sometimes I'm going to make slightly less. Let's kind of go through the coins as well. One of them has already been sent off. So this is a 1906. I believe this one's been sold. These two have been sold. This one's been sold. So there is a gentleman who's after this type of coinage. He wants a nice example though. So it's not a bad example, but it was just sold for bullion weight, and I said I'd try and get something in that he might like. So I've got another coin for him that he's already bought. Now, if I make £10 a coin, anyone who watches my videos knows I'm aiming for pretty much 3,500 a month, 3,500 a month. So I went a bit American on you guys. Got to sell a lot of sovereigns to make that. So this is what I call the bread and butter kind of play, and it will kind of shock you that when it comes in, if I do get a haul like this is 2 hauls today. So I've gone and met with my supplier twice. First time he had, I think it was 4.5 come in, and then he had another 4 come in. I had to sort him out on another deal though, so you know, I've had to work for my money today. It's been a very, very long day. I've been working, what, 9 hours already. I've probably got another 4 or 5 hours to go to kind of earn my money for the day. Now, if I'm making £10 a coin, if I get 10 coins in, that's what I call a free carry day. If it goes in a day, that's a £100 day. That's pretty much one day of my target. And if it sells quickly, it frees up time for me. It frees up time to kind of dig into the reserve, or look what I've got in that is going to be a bit trickier to move. It's going to take longer to list, you know, and that way I can kind of turn over the sheer quantity that I do turn over. That does seem counterintuitive. I know there's people who watch my videos and they say, well, it doesn't really seem worth it 3%. But if I get 10 in and I'm making £10 a coin, and I get a day's wages for maybe an hour's work, that's a good day, no? You know, how many people watch these videos and say, oh, well, I would love to earn £100 in a couple of hours or an hour. You know, doesn't always work that way. And I do have to factor in, there are back-end stuff I don't get paid for, such as doing the accounts, and £10 kind of what I make on the coin. That doesn't take into account the things I have to pay for, like accounting software, accountancy, etc., etc. Tape, believe it or not, I burn through. I go through a roll of tape a week, envelopes, boxes, you name it. You know, it's all got to be paid for out of the profit on the coin. So sounds great. There are many costs that come with it. Not a bad batch. So as you can see, these have been sold. These were nice. I don't really charge extra for something like this. If I get something really special in, you know, I might add £15, £20 on it, because I know I don't want to sell myself short. I'm not here to kind of give stuff away. Sometimes you have to give a penny to take a penny and sell it slightly cheaper, and that's okay. But sometimes when you've got real quality, you should identify that you have real quality. I don't know until it comes in. So 2, 4, 6, 7. There was one earlier, like I said. So if I sell these today, I've already sold 5 of them. One of them I'm keeping for me, so it's not this one, this one's going in my reserve. And the 2 halves. So that's £90 on the table if I sell them today. That's pretty much my target, you know, and that's great. You know, it doesn't always happen like this, but I am going to have days like this. I also bought these in. So a customer I deal with, he said, Sean, I've got these 10-ounce stackers, you know, I've been out of work. What would you pay on them? Now I know what he paid. And I said to him, I know you're going to take a haircut on these, but I can only trade the market in front of you. If you want to sell them, you know, try and sell them. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll send them your way. So I ended up paying $2.50 in a bar on these. I said to him, he wanted $2.20. I offered him $2.10, and I said to him, so I don't think I'm going to be able to sell these for $2.50. I'll try for $2.50. I think they're $2.50 bars. However, I don't think I'm going to get it. Lo and behold, I put a listing up earlier. $2.50 posted. No, didn't get it. Not really any interest. A couple of likes, but I'm not in the business of sitting around. I am in the business of making a spread, and that's something I do a lot over the course of a month. So to put it into perspective, this month I've spent £35,000 on stock. It's the 17th. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to double up. It may die down. It may not. But they're the numbers I'm kind of working with. So if I get 240 posted out of these, which is going to be the next port of call, I paid $2.15. I'm selling for $2.40. I've then got to take out VAT, which is a sixth of the profit. I've then got to take out postage. So that £25, it quickly diminishes. So the postage, if I include the material costs, you know, I'm talking, so for one, £8 pretty much. By the time I've done the tape, I've double packed it, I've put it in a box, we're talking £8 it's going to cost me. Okay, I've got the sidearm or the stamps where I do okay out of that, but that's what it's going to cost. Minus the sixth profit, it's not as much as people think. It really isn't. So that £25 quickly gets whittled down. Now, where I do okay is where, say, someone will buy 2 or 3 and I get to save on the postage. It depends how I sell it. So if I'm saying $2.50 postage, it gives me room to come down on the customers who kind of look after me. With some people, I don't do it. With some people, I do. It all depends on how aggressive the person is. I've got to the stage where if you're an aggressive haggler, I don't really deal with you. You know, I'm not really interested in dealing with you. I want to build relationships with people. I want to kind of, you know, deal with them for a year or 2 years or 3 years and build up their portfolio or their collection. And it's not because I'm being cynical. I'm quite a sociable person. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be dealing with people who say, well, I'm going to offer you this. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't care. I've got to the point where I'll happily not take your money. It's great being established. You know, you do have that choice. But in terms of the overall, so the reason I've called this bread and butter is because, say I make £90 in a day on the sovereigns. I won't, because I'm taking one out, so it's pretty much 80 profit on the individual coins. I think I worked it out. These would yield, I think it's 155 if they go for 240 and they go as singles, and I've got to pay the postage on all of them. That's a great day, no? It's nice for me. You know, they should sell relatively easy. And it gives me a bit of breathing space. It means I can kind of hit my target in a way that isn't really exhaustive towards me and my time and how I do things. Like I said, today's been manic. So say I earn 155, and by the time I've completely done everything, so let's try and work that out. So 155, I started, so I've worked 9 hours already. Let's call it 13 hours from start to finish. So this divided by, it puts me on about £12 an hour. There's going to be days where I make less. There's going to be days where I make more. But overall, I'm just happy as long as I hit my target of 3,500 a month. Yeah, that's what I'm really aiming for. Anything below that, there's problems with the supply line, and or can be both, I'm not working hard enough. Like, I know what I want to do. I set targets that I think are reasonable, and it's stuff like this that, yes, the margin's not great, but when it works very well. So I hope that kind of gives you an idea of how I do things. I hope people find it useful. If anyone's kind of getting into trading or whatever, and they're like, well, how do I work out the price and what should I be paying, etc. I don't often pay above spot on sovereigns these days. I do occasionally, but it's not often, because you need to factor in the downside. So say spot price crumbles, you know, and I go down to £5 a coin, I'm working twice as hard. You know, you have to find that happy, sweet spot where everyone is happy. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.